Welcome to your training today. It is Exploring Black History Month, Unveiling the Richness of Black Heritage. This training is for Discus. My name is Tammi Burke. I'm a senior Gale trainer. Any questions that you have today, please feel free to use that Q&A box. It is open and available. I'd like to start, I'm quoting the NBCU Academy with this statement because it really hit home when I wanted to do an introduction to this session, because I want to share with you that celebrating Black heritage is not simply a month-long thing. Black history, culture, success, and joy is something to be celebrated all year round. But February does give us the opportunity to shine an even brighter light on the achievements and contributions of Black people and to remember the influential figures that made their mark in those who are breaking new ground today. So the focus of our session today, based on that statement from NBCU Academy, our focus is going to be for this training is on the content that you have available within your Gale resources from Discus to support Black History Month teachings in the library and the classroom. And what we're going to do is we're going to explore articles and multimedia. I'm going to share primary sources and eBooks and share with you best practices for sharing all this content to foster a deeper understanding of the contributions of Black individuals throughout history. So I'm really excited about today's training. I can't wait to share with you not only the content you have available, but also all of the training materials that you have available to support your Gale resources. Okay, it looks like we have someone who's having a little bit of difficulty. She's let me know if you, in that Q&A box, if you're able to hear me. I haven't changed the screen yet, so I will do that now. But if you're able to hear me, could you just let me know in that Q&A box? And if you're able to see okay, Terry, you're all set. Good. Okay, thank you. Just wanted to make sure everybody can hear me. It looks like we're all set. Just wanted to check in with everyone. So our agenda today is Gale resources that you have from Discus. We are going to start with an overview of how to access those resources and the Gale resources that you have available. We are going to spend the majority of our time exploring the materials, the content, the features, and the workflow tools available within your Gale resources. Any questions that you have, please feel free to stop me throughout today's training and ask in that Q&A box. I will also stay on the session at the end if there are any additional questions, and then I will leave you with where you can go for support. You have great folks at Discus, so I will provide you with their support information. Today or at the end of today's training, I'll give you a link. Oh, thank you, Brenda, and thanks, Linda, for letting me know that you can hear me all right. That really helps. First, accessing your Discus resources. Hopefully you're already using this site to access all of your resources that you have from Discus. It's a very well organized site that you can find all of that content, including all of your Gale resources that you have available. So hopefully you're already using it, but just as a reminder, I always like to share it in our training sessions. So that link is here right on the top of the page. To start with an overview of the resources you have available, and we are going into almost all of them today. We will be going into Gale and Context Elementary, which is for our kindergarten through 5th grade students, where they can learn all about all subject areas. It's general reference, cross-curricular. Today we are focusing on people within that resource, so I'm excited to share that with you today. We are also going to spend a lot of time in Gale and Context Biography. We have great content there to support Black History Month, where you're going to find contextual information on the world's most influential people. You're going to find timelines and periodicals and great multimedia content. We are not going to go into opposing viewpoints, but I always like to share information. This is one of our top used resources at Gale. Opposing viewpoints is it provides you with engaging hot topics, social issues, controversial issues. It shows both sides of the issue, so pro and con, but we do not state that this is a pro article or this is a con article, because we really want our users to develop those critical thinking skills. This is used at all levels. We see this used at the higher ed and the public libraries, and especially in our with our high school students, somewhat with middle school, but just keep in mind the content there. It is those hot social issues, so keep that in mind if you are sharing this with middle school students. Oops. Oh my goodness, I'm going backwards here. My mouse is going the opposite direction today. There we go. Okay. Ebook collections that we're going to touch into. We are going to go into poetry for students. Now you have these series where you have multiple ebooks for each within the for students collections. So poetry for students, which focuses on the discussion and analysis of poems. You have short stories for students, which provides critical overviews of short stories. Drama for Students features critical overviews of the most studied plays and discussion of themes and characters and dramatic devices. And then Novels for Students provides critical overviews of novels, including discussions of plot, character, themes, and structure. So we are going to touch into your ebook collection. I want to show you how to search through them, how to find content to support Black History Month, and then how to filter that down, different views, both the text view and the book view, and a couple of those items we're going to touch into as far as the tools and features, but really that content and how you can quickly find it within this resource too. Black History Month materials, and this is where we're going to start today. We do have content-specific training materials, and we have 3 at the top of our list that are being featured this month. Black History Month, 28 Days of Hidden Figures, Black History Month, Celebrate Black Artists, and Black History Month, Multiplying Achievements. What these are is what we've done is we've created pages and we've curated training materials, as you can see, for specific resources. This one is for Gale in Context Biography. And we've added all of those materials to one page. So it makes it really easy if you're working with your teachers to share this information where they can find printable tools like ready to go student activities. They can find resource guides available or tip sheets. So I'm going to share that with you today. Some of the things that you're going to find on there, like we've created this Black History Month for Gale in Context Elementary, Discover Black Heroes and Heroines or Heroines. Biography, we have these graphic organizers. We've got a whole packet with everyone available that we have pulled out of our resources. And you'll find that here where it's a whole packet, or you can access each page individually if there's a certain person that you know that a class is focusing on or that you're going to focus on in your library. And then we also have scavenger hunts, and here is the one that we have available on Hidden Figures. And this is accessing Gale in Context Biography. So it's focused on one individual resource and walks your students through. Not only is the scavenger hunts are great for looking at content, but also introducing some of those tools and features that students may not be as familiar with. So that is all available on our Gale support site, and that's where we're going to start today. Also, one thing to mention with our scavenger hunts, we also provide you with the answers. So it's a 2-page document, 1 page with questions, the second one is with all of the answers. So with that, let's go into our Gale support site. And I actually, well, let me take you to, I want to take you to the Discus page specifically. So let me put that in real quick, and I'll post this in the chat here. Let me share that screen so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to post this link real quick in the chat for you all to grab. This is a great one to bookmark. And where we're going to go, we're not going to sign in because remember, you're accessing through the Discus website. So you won't need to sign in and find all of that information here. What you can do is you can directly jump to training or marketing materials. If you're looking to promote these resources, you can go to your marketing materials, but we're going to go right to training. And I want to show you a couple things here. So right at the top of the page is where we have all of our general training materials, and this is going to be Discus specific. So the session that we have coming up next month and the month after. So we have advanced tips and tricks in February and choice boards and Gale resources that'll be in March. If anyone is going to the conference at the beginning of the month, I will be there. So come join me and sit through our great session that we have planned. I think my session is on Wednesday morning, so I'd love to meet you all in person. Below, we have all of our recorded webinars. And then by product. Now, this is what I want to go in first, and then I'm going to go to those content themes that we have available. So, for example, elementary. If I open elementary up, it gives me all of the activities I have available for this resource. Now, these have been designed specifically for Gale in Context Elementary. So we start with our activities, and these are ready to go student activities. We have lesson plans, professional development materials like we just started creating these toolkits. We have one that's an email newsletter template. We also have a PowerPoint slide deck ready to go. So if you're getting ready to train folks on this resource, you have that available. We have recorded webinars related to this resource. Now, these are separate than the ones that we do specifically for Discus. You'll find resource guides and tip sheets, and here's a training toolkit. It's a great way to get started on doing your own trainings, but also curating some of this information for you all on a one-page document. And then we have our tutorials and upcoming webinars all listed there. Now, if you notice on these activities, as I scroll back up, we have the Black History Month activity for Gale in Context Elementary. And that was the one I shared that screenshot of for you all. So here's where you're going to find that document. So again, I just opened up Gale in Context Elementary, and it was right here in my activity section. Same thing for biography, opposing viewpoints, Gale eBooks, you're going to find, and this one, here's that graphic organizer packet that I mentioned, and each individual page. So all of these folks that are being highlighted here that we have a graphic organizer for, they're all grouped together in this packet. So if you would like the packet, we have that. And we also have this Black History Month profile project for Gale in Context Biography. And then there's another activity there too. So a lot of great content's already been created for you. Oh, here's that scavenger hunt I mentioned too. It's down a little bit further. Created for you so you don't have to go out and create ready to go student activities. We've done that for you. So this is, again, I went through the Discus page. We've created this support site page specifically for Discus. And I went directly to training, and that's where I found all those materials. And that's the link that I just shared with you, and it'll be in your follow-up email too. Where if I wanted those content themes, now they do live on our general Gale support site. So all I did was click into that support title at the top, and where they live is in the training center under content specific materials. All those materials still live under each of the products. The difference is here we've organized and curated them into a collection. So this top one, for example, is focusing on Gale in Context Biography, and we've organized some tip sheets, some printable materials. Here's all the student activities. And the beauty of this is you can just share this link with your teachers. So I'm going to share this with you just as an example. So you can see it's that simple. If I go back to that page, we have the Celebrating Black Artists. And then this one, I think Black History Month multiplying. Yes, this is focused on a resource that you don't have through Discus, U.S. history. So you might want to just skip over that one unless it's a resource that your district purchases. But those top two apply to the resources that you have access to. So keep that in mind. And I will also share, this is the last link I'll probably share today. And this is if you wanted to go directly to that page, the content themes. And we update this every month. If you look below, here we have it organized by month. So also in February, you can see other themes that we have available, or March, April, as you're looking through. And again, these are for a variety of resources that are available from Gale, but they are organized here in this nice monthly calendar, those themes. Okay, all right, so with that, that's the materials you have available. So keep that in mind as we're talking through and walking through each of these resources. We are going to go into Gale in Context Elementary first, and I want to show you some of the content that we have available. And I will touch on some of the tools, but our focus really today is on the content. And but again, I'll work in a few of those tools. The first thing I want to do is I am going to sign in with Google. We have Google or Microsoft sign in at the very top. It's always a best practice, especially with our younger users, to have them sign in if they're using shared computers, so that they know for sure that if they send any information to, say, their Google Drive, that it will land in their Google Drive. Your K through 2 students aren't going to be doing this as much, but they might be ready for that next step. Your upper elementary students, especially those 5th graders, will probably be ready to be able to save this information, and they're familiar with their Google Drive, or if you're using Microsoft OneDrive, we have that available too. I am set up as a teacher, so automatically I can post any information I want to from the resource directly into my Google Classroom. It's very simple to do, and a very seamless way to share content with your students. And if I need the translate feature to translate my navigation, which is separate than our document translation, but this I can translate any of the tools available on the page. Now, since we're focusing on content, you can see the different topics, news, pictures, videos. These are some of the content types that we've pulled out for you. I want to focus on the topic tree. So you have the all of these subject categories. We are going to go into people. And we have a variety of different areas where I could go into scientists and inventors, or athletes, artists, historic figures. You can see current that we have available, current figures or current folks that we have available there too, authors, explorers, so on and so forth, right? So depending on what your students are interested in, maybe they're interested in athletes. And you can see that this is what we call the topic tree. So now I've selected athletes. Below are topic pages for each of these athletes. So if I'm interested in finding out information about, has anyone seen that new Netflix Air? It's about Nike with Michael Jordan. It's really good. I highly suggest it. Had me searching. I immediately after I watched it was jumping into the resources and doing some, searching through, like, oh wow, I didn't know that, and I, looking for my own information. So talk about curiosity. Just as guilty as the kids for jumping in here, which is awesome to see. But Serena Williams, let's go into Serena Williams. And she was actually born here I'm up in Michigan in the snow and ice and fog right now. But she was born in Saginaw. But Serena Williams, first, I shouldn't say first, but she's an American tennis player. She is not only famous, but she is noted as the greatest women's tennis player of all time. So when we're talking about Black History Month, being able to pull in athletes like Serena Williams is great for our students to learn more about not only her as a person, but all that she's accomplished. And this is a great way to do it. You have magazines, news articles, biography information. We have pictures available of Serena Williams, fantastic pictures. And then below are any related topic pages. We also have in our pictures, you're going to find one of newer content that we've been adding is we have these infographics. And here's one where you can see the top 5 women's tennis players. And this is Grand Slam wins. And here's Serena Williams at the very top with 23. So those graphic organizers are really nice for students to see that visual when they're learning about different people like Serena Williams. Our topic overview, so all of our topic pages have an image and an essay overview, and these are at 2 levels. So we have 2 content levels, level 1 and level 2 are generally lower elementary is 1, upper elementary is level 2, and then it goes up from there. Level 3, if you remember, we have 5 levels total. Content level 3 is middle school. Everything below is elementary and everything above is going to be high school on up. It'll make it really easy. So if you remember 3 is middle, then 1s and 2s are always going to be for your elementary students. But we've got level 2 provides us with some main ideas, and then I can get some early life, some information about Serena Williams. We even have a quote there. And then we also have level 1, and the nice thing is the image changes. And here we have some vocabulary words, so words to know. And then this is going to be similar information, but it's going to be at that level 1 reading level. Okay. Additional content that we have, I want to click into, let's go back to people. And this time, let's go into historic figures. And I know really popular with students is Always Learning, and we have such great content about Martin Luther King Jr. Quick facts in the center of the page, book articles, magazines, biographies, newspaper, pictures. This one, we have a timeline. I like to show these kind of hidden gems within the content. Very helpful for students to be able to see this timeline for Martin Luther King Jr. Go back to my results. And then additional images. We have some video content available, and then related topics. So the Civil Rights Movement being a related topic, and Martin Luther King Jr. Day is also a related topic. Another topic or another person that students like to study about in historic figures is Ruby Bridges. Always great to share that. And we have a great topic page for Ruby Bridges. There she is. Here where your students, again, she was only 6 years old at the time that she was the first African-American student to attend an all-white school in Louisiana. And so these fast facts or quick facts are really helpful for students as they're learning it. In this resource too, they're so inquisitive, and to really foster that or encourage that curiosity within this resource, we have those quick facts or we have those I wonder questions. Let me know if you have any questions about this resource. I was focusing more on that content, but I do want to share with you, if this is something you wanted to share, you could use the Get Link tool. So let's say I wanted to share this topic page. I could use the Get Link tool, and it will provide me with a persistent URL back to this exact spot. Or I could use Google Classroom and pull this topic page. I could make an announcement and pull it right into my class, whichever class I choose. We have great short little video tutorials on the Gale tools that talks a little bit more about Google Classroom, but that feature's there. It's very intuitive when you're accessing it. And I'd be happy to go over that at the end of today's session if you would like me to show that to you. Okay, so let's go into our next resource, and that's Gale in Context Biography. I'm trying to share with you as much content as I can. And this one, let me tell you, has a lot of great content. Now, this resource used at the middle school, high school level. Can you use it at elementary? We have such great content available in Gale in Context Elementary on people. I would definitely suggest going there first. If you feel like your students are looking for a little bit more, then I would introduce this, but with parents. You know, this is a great one. I always use an example. Here in Michigan, we do a wax museum, our third graders do. And when I did that project with my son, it was hard to find because everybody was doing it, the whole third grade. So the libraries were wiped out. I was trying to find digital resources. I didn't work for Gale at that time, and our state didn't have access to these resources. So I was trying to find information online that was at his reading level, and it was a challenge. So I would have loved to have access to this resource too, so that I could help him with, I mean, I wouldn't just say, here you go, here's an article, because this is definitely for that higher reading level, but it would have helped me when we were trying to find some of those facts and information so that he could do, you know, his biographical research or help do that research for his person that he selected for the Wax Museum. So keep that in mind when you're sharing this resource, that it might be really helpful to parents and teachers that are working with elementary students. But really, we have such a robust and rich amount of information available in elementary, they probably won't need to come into this resource. But let me share with you what we have available. So you can see right away when we have these scrolling images, we have Oprah Winfrey at the top of the page, but we do have African Americans, Black Americans. We do have a topic section that can be really helpful when you're sharing information or content you have available in your digital resources from Discus, is sharing this this topic with all of these great topic pages. Now, can you grab a link back to this topic page? You can use that Get Link tool and share it, which will bring folks directly to this topic page. And all of these topic pages have that image and essay overview. It's curated content that's available on each of these individual people. And there are quite a few, as you can see as I scroll down the page. Now, one we are going to actually go into is, I was almost to, well, we've got two. Katherine Johnson's always my go-to, but let's go to Mae Jemison. And you can see again, image, essay overview. We have quick facts about her. Our featured content, this section here is hand selected by our content editors. So we consider that the best of the best. Always a great place. Two places I would suggest students get started is with the essay overview and the featured content. Also for teachers, it's really helpful, especially if they're creating a list. Maybe they're doing a project and it's students are making a choice in whom they're interested in studying about or learning more about or highlighting in their project, then finding that information using that essay overview can be really helpful for teachers too, to give them a bit of a summary to the students as they're selecting people that they may not be aware of. And so great way to explore or expand their knowledge too. But that featured content is a great section to get started in for students because it does give them the hand selected information by our content editors. You have great biographies, images, audio files available. This one has magazines and newspapers. We do have one academic journal and some websites that are available. These are safe vetted websites. At the very bottom, you're going to find related topic pages listed here. So if I were interested in, let's say we wanted to go into biographies. And I can see on the left-hand side, some of these are brief biographies and others are full biographies. I can filter this content down. So filter my results, I have the opportunity to filter by publication date, by a certain subject or document type, publication title, Lexile measure, I can multi-select, content levels. So maybe I want any 3s and 4s, maybe 2s. Maybe I'm creating a text set and I am pulling this information together and I want everything at a level 3, which is middle school. Well, actually, we probably shouldn't. This one, there is one level 2. I'm surprised because again, this is more for our high school students, but I want to see if there's any level 3s. I can just apply it all together. And you can see all of that content that's available. A lot of level 4s, which I would expect to see in this resource. Even with that filtering, I filtered that content down. I can still grab a link or pull this into Google Classroom to share it with my students, or if you're in the library and you want to share this with your teachers, it's a great way to do that. And it does filter down all of my content at once. So it is only showing me these 3 levels. When I remove it, it will repopulate everything on that topic page again. When I click into the article, let me go into this one, Notable Women Scientists. If I have any additional information, supplemental information related to the article I'm on or the document I'm on, I'll see that in my Explore panel. I also have great tools available to support accessibility. I'm not sure if you're familiar with these, but you have the ability to translate the article, and we are now at 50 languages. Brand new, just found out yesterday that they've added more. So we're at 50 languages here. We can decrease or increase the font size. You have display options where you can change the color behind the text. You can choose the open dyslexic font. You can increase the line, letter, and word spacing. And the nice thing is once you've selected that display options on one article, it'll stick with you throughout your session. So until I close out of this, it'll stick with me. Or if I remove it by going back to my default settings, then it will remove that feature too. But it does stick with me. And then I have the listen button where I can listen to the text being read aloud. Of course, I can send this content. My quick send options are here: Google, Microsoft, email, download, and print. But let's say I get down to this point and I decide, oh, I definitely want this article. My toolbar, my contextual toolbar is sticking with me. So I can choose that paper airplane and send to Google, OneDrive, email, download, print are also there. My citation tool is here, and you can change the format and also choose where you'd like to export it to or just copy and paste. But your citations are also attached to every document, image, video that we have available. And you can change that formatting too. Let's say I wanted to change it to APA before I send it to Google Drive. I can do that. It's just at the very bottom of your document and very self-explanatory. Okay, I want to share with you also in this resource. Let me go back to the home page. I want to show you two ways that you can access this. We have person search in our toolbar here, or if you click into advanced search, person search lives here too. And what I want to show you in person search is how you can select African American, and maybe I want female. And if there's a occupation, I could put an occupation in here, place of birth, place of death, and then you can see all the other preliminars that we have here below too. So you can put in a range. When I click select, it's going to give me that list based on my preliminars I've selected. And you can see here the occupation is in the center. So if there was a certain occupation I was interested in, maybe I'm just interested in artists, I could put that occupation in. Or feminists, I only want women, people that are feminists. I can put that occupation in. You can see birth date and death date. And then when I select, it will take me to the content that I have available. If we have an also known as, you'll see that listed here too. You'll see that listed below. And when I click into it, it takes me to all of that person's content. Who is Stacey Abrams? Audiofiles magazine. Now, if there's topic pages related to that person and that I did in my person search, then I'll see that listed on the right-hand side. There'll be an image with the topic page. Okay. And then if I needed to go back to the browse people, again, that's over here in my contextual toolbar, and that's where it lives on that home page. But again, it always lives in under advanced search. So another great way for to take a broader search, but also add those preliminars because we have so much content. You saw the topic pages. Imagine not only do we have topic pages, but we have additional information on so many people. And the top here, let me share with you to give you an idea. We're going to go to browse all people. So we have topics on the home page, but look at all these additional topics we have. So keep that in mind that this is very organized with, we have over 5,000 topic pages available. So maybe I want notable women. And then there's a certain person, that I'm looking for Black History Month, if I wanted to do that. So that's a route I could take too. So keep that in mind. You've got a couple different options to browse and search through this content. And then of course, sharing the content using the Get Link tool or using Google Classroom. Great ways to share content with your teachers and your students. The last area we are going to go into today is your ebook collections. A couple features I want to share with you here. Well, you can see on the home page, each of these drama, novels, poetry, and short stories, all for students collections that you have, are series. So if I click into poetry for students, you can see all of the volumes I have available, which would be kind of tough. I wouldn't want to click into each one. So what I might want to do is use my search within. If I'm looking for a certain person. Now I can do the basic search. I don't have to go into a specific series, but if I know that let's say I'm looking for Nikki Giovanni or Maya Angelou, great example, Maya Angelou. And I know she's a poet. So I would put her name in and search within just this series. Now, again, I could do a basic search, and chances are the majority of the content for Maya Angelou is going to come from poetry of students, but I might get some from others. You might have, writers that are not only poets, but they could write short stories. So in that case, doing a basic search to pull back all that information would be really helpful. But you do have the ability to search just within the series. And I can submit this, and then it'll give me all of those search results. And there's 49 search results. On the right, I have that option to filter down my results. If I'm looking for a certain subject, I can do that, or a certain document type. Maybe I just want to look at any critical essays, or I just want biographical information. Poem explanations. So you can see there's an interview, an article. For that, more of that multimedia for a specific person like Maya Angelou, I do highly suggest going into Gale and Context Biography. But you are going to find some of that here, not really multimedia, but some articles and some interviews. It's all in print because these are eBooks. So if I were to click into one of those titles, Still I Rise, which is coming from the Best of Poetry for Students. You can see very similar. I have my Explore panel. I have all of my accessibility tools. What's different is what I want to share with you is a couple things. I have the ability to go back to the table of contents, and this is specifically for this this volume. So this is volume 61. So it's not just all on Maya Angelou. Remember, this is the best of for students, poetry for students. So I'm going to see other titles listed here. But you do have that ability to jump to the table of contents. I also have book view or text view. So I'm currently in text view. In text view, I have all of my tools to support accessibility available. When I switch to book view, it is literally a PDF from this book. And the nice thing is, if I were to download this or print this off, there's no restrictions. It's unlimited access to all of this content. I can do that, and it's going to give me this PDF version when I download or print it off. So it's not going to give me that text view. It'll give me this here. And I can make this double page. I can make this whole screen. All of those ebook features, hopefully you're familiar with. And here I have the poem summary. I have compare and contrast. Here's the themes I have available. Self-love, defiance, but critical thinking questions. Now, this is in that, again, the PDF version. If I go back to my text view, all of those links are actually live. So I can actually use this instead of where I couldn't with the PDF, I can jump to these links that I have available that are listed in the ebook itself. But here, since I'm accessing it digitally in text view, I can jump to those additional, that information. And what I love too is this article has like these primary sources and other links. How fantastic to be able to jump to that content, which I don't know if you knew that was available, but you can do that from these ebooks. But there it is, critical thinking questions. And with critical thinking questions, a great tool that we have is our highlights and notes. So this can be used, this is again across all of your Gale resources where you can highlight a chunk of text, choose a color, and maybe this is, question 1. And I save this, and then I'm reading through the content, and here's my answer to question 1. And I want to write, I'll just put number 1 and maybe a summary, my notes and summary. So if I'm answering that question, I would want to put that information in here. I can save that. If there's a term I'm struggling with, I can highlight that word just like you can on an e-reader, click define, and it gives me a page out of the Webster's Dictionary. Highlights and notes is a great tool to use. Here's another, let's say I am looking for additional information for that first question. I used yellow. Here's some. Okay, and I can save that. Now, I've marked up this document. I want to save it. I want to save what I've marked up. So what can I do? I can choose to send this to my Google Drive, OneDrive, email, download, or print. And what happens is if I send it to Google or Microsoft, a folder is created that's titled Gale eBooks, because that's the resource I'm in. So if I were in Gale in Context Biography, that's what the title of the folder would be. So whatever resource I'm in, a folder is created in my Google Drive or Microsoft OneDrive. And then this document will land. It turns it into, if I'm in Google, it'll turn it into a Google Doc or a Word doc if I'm in OneDrive. And not only that, but it'll stay marked up. So all of my markups will go into my drive, my Google Drive. It'll turn it into a Google Doc. And then not only that, but below my source citation. So let me send this real quick to my Google Drive and share that with you. So I go into my Google Drive and I access, oh, it took me to home. I access my Gale eBooks. There we go. And you can see here are the highlighted articles. The one thing though it does, sorry, my articles are here, but also my highlights and notes section lives here too. So if I don't remember what article here, maybe I think it was on this one, Still I Rise. It turns it into a Word doc. It's marked up, taking a little bit to load here. It has all of my markups, which were a little further down the page. There's the one. But, oh, and I pick, of course, the longest one. So let me quickly go to the bottom and share with you. What happens is below my source citation, which is here, here's the passages I highlighted. And this, I may have done this in a previous, because I don't think I used 3 colors, but here's the passages I've highlighted and any notes I've taken. Okay, so that marked up document stays marked up, and then everything lives there, not only in the document, but also here below my source citation. Another thing I want to share with you is my highlights and notes is being built out. So up in the upper right-hand corner, my contextual toolbar, if I click highlights and notes and view all highlights and notes, this section is being built out. This is session-based. So I like to call these digital notes. These are really great, especially when you're talking about Black History Month and you want to share information and students are grabbing information. They're using Gale in Context Biography or elementary. This is available in elementary, or your ebook collections here. They can pull out information into these digital notes, and they can just send these digital notes or this highlights and notes section directly to Google, Microsoft, email, download, or print. What I also love about it, if there are multiple documents, their source citations, their bibliography is done. So I was just in one, but if I were in multiple, I would be done. I would have all that information here. So it's a great way. It's a great mini lesson to use highlights and notes as a mini lesson in your library, because again, it's across all of your Gale resources. So you have this feature available. So if I wanted to pull out that information, share that information, this is session based, so I would have to come in here and do something with my highlights and notes before I leave my session. I can do that. And it's a great way to do that. I mean, maybe it's, I shared with you all of those great materials that we have available. Using the highlights and notes feature to do that student activity that we've created on the support site is a great way to do that. So just know that not only do we have the content that you're looking for Black History Month, we have a way to share it. And we also have great tools and features like highlights and notes to save that information. And then ready to go student activities to support that learning that's happening in your library and in the classroom. So let me know if you have any other questions. We're right at the end of our time here. Okay, Tamara, let me hold on a second. Let me see why you're not seeing Gale eBooks. Can you share with me in the Q&A how you're accessing, like the link you're accessing all of your resources from? And that might help me out a little bit. I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint and I can answer that question at the end. Just as a reminder, for support, you can go to your Discus office help desk. Fantastic folks there that can help answer any questions that you have. In fact, Tamara, I may be directing you to them in a moment if I can't figure it out for you. But your Discus office at the State Library, please reach out to them for support. For that support for the resources, if you're looking for those training materials that I shared with you, you can go to that support site. Again, this link will be, I put it in the chat, it will be in the follow-up email, but it is here also at the top of the page for anyone watching the recording. Please go to the support site that we've created for Discus, and you're going to find all of those great materials available. Not only the ones that we've created for Discus, but also the product specific information that I shared today too will all be there. We just started adding these curriculum corner too. If you wanted to take a look at that, we have those available. They're pretty new, that just recently added to the support site. And then marketing materials, if you're looking to promote your resources, we have great marketing materials, bookmarks, social media posts, all shapes and sizes available and ready to go. Here's one for the 4-student series that we have. So we have those available there on the support site too. And that wraps our session. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to stay on the line and answer those for you. And then your survey, it will pop up when you leave today, but if you would like to use your phone and grab this QR code and fill it out real quick on your phone, please do that for Discus. It really helps them out a lot. And my name again is Tammi Burke. I am a senior trainer at Gale, and I thank you all for your time today. If there's anything else I can help you with, just let me know. And thanks everyone, and have a great day. Okay, so Tamara, if you're accessing through your class link, it has an option for SC Discus. It should be, let me grab this link for you and tell me if this is the site it's taking you to. And that might help us out. Why isn't this go? There we go. Discus has each student series broken out. Okay, hi Linda. Each student series broken out individually on the A to Z resources list. Okay, so Tamara, let me share this link in the chat real quick. Verify that this is where you're going, and I'm going to go back and share my screen. So it should be here, and what Linda's sharing is the A to Z resources, which I remembered that, and I'm sorry I didn't come in here and share it with you. So A to Z resources, and see if you did you put it under the G for Gale? No. Let me go back. You said A to Z resources on the list Discus site. What is the quickest way to, did you put it under the students? Short stories for students. Okay, so if you looked under the short stories for students is here. So they each have their own individual collections to access. Tamara, that might help you if that's what you're looking for. So they are broken by, and I wonder if, can I do this? Will this take me to everything if I do vendor? I go back to all and go to Gale. There we go. So that's, if you go to A to Z resources, you're in all and you switch to vendor and just select Gale, then you will see novels for students is under N, poetry, short stories, and then drama is right here at the top. So that's where you'll find those individual collections. So Tamara, that might be why you're not seeing what you were expecting to see. You're welcome. You're welcome. And thank you, Linda. You knew exactly what she was asking before I did. So thank you all for your time. I will stay on if there's any additional questions. But I want to again thank you for spending some time with us today, and we hope to see you on our training next month. I'm excited for that topic too. So hopefully we'll see you next month. But thank you everyone, and have a great rest of your day.